Three, two, one.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Welcome to the Pulpery Nerdcast with Brock and Ben. This podcast is where we discuss the nerd culture headlines that intrigue us and those minor details that enrage us.
Ahsoka, what you got for me? We say this every episode. Rest in peace, Ray.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they set you out on your walkabout.
Yeah. And then
Now he's gone. But I've already heard that they're gonna have to recast him because he had a big storyline set up.
Because I still believe he's going to be, because they've been teasing they're going to introduce a gray Jedi at some point, and I think he seems to fit that.
He'd be like
mold.
Not the mountain. Who was the Mountain's brother in Game of Thrones? The Hound.
Yeah. He
could be the Hound. Just don't give him a kid, because then we'll need Oscar Isaac in there. So yes, I was just like his Padawan. Is that what we called her?
Yeah.
That was his Padawan, and he let her go, and she was still a little confused.
Yeah. Which she could also end up being a gray Jedi.
That's what I'm saying.
And that she was trained in the dark arts.
Dark arts. I love it.
Yeah.
The Doc Ots. So yeah, and it's funny that I started with those two because they were. I like those tweener characters.
Yeah.
Not good, not bad. Do some terrible, terrible shit, but then go. Maybe General Thrawn or Admiral Thrawn or Blueface Thrawn. Maybe he's not so good.
What do you mean, like the character? Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like, okay, maybe his intentions aren't for us.
No.
But then you have the witches. I don't know where they fit into all. Yes, this chair.
That was a good one.
This chair's awesome. I don't know where the witches fit in all this.
Yeah, I mean that's where not seeing every episode of the animated stuff and not getting into the comic books and novels and
so all this,
like all of our exposure to the witches is from the video games.
Correct. And so I you know what, I could deal with a 2-episode special about them.
Yeah.
Or what do they call themselves? The witches, the sisterhood of something.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to know what the fuck's up with those people. Like, what do they have to do with the dark side or the Empire? Or are they just their own fucking evil thing?
Well, I think they're from another galaxy.
Okay.
Right, and
are they go ahead.
That's where that's something that's not addressed in the video. So in the first video game,
anywhere. That's what
in the first Jedi video game, which was Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's Jedi Survivor. Like you travel to their home planet.
Yes.
And
but they don't. It's just.
In Ahsoka, it's like no one knows how to get to that galaxy, but in the video game, it's like
call Cal Cassian and Beatty.
Or what's the pilot's name? That's,
Grease.
Yeah, Grease. Yeah, Grease. But yeah, you get there, and they do a little bit of the backstory. Like it's this coven, and it's only like there's I don't know, like it's a matriarchy, but then there's that.
It's like the Bene Gesserit in Dune.
Yeah, but then it's like. Then they get duped by that crazy Jedi you got to fight in the first game on the planet.
Yeah.
And then that's what leads to their destruction. So I'm thinking this is before Cal Kestis. and that the witches' order is still there, or maybe they have.
Well, Darth Vader.
Maybe they
that
have
makes sense.
dispersed. I don't know, but
Well, they clearly survived, and they're clearly as a coven, and they can turn other people, which I wasn't aware that they could just do that.
Right? Yeah.
Just turn people zombie.
Yeah.
I
It's very It's very Doctor Strange.
right
With another Mickelson who
I
just says a few magic words and then his eyes get
right. And this woman we've seen the whole series, who was
some evil bureaucrat.
right,
Yeah.
like swarmy politician, chicken shawarma, and right, all of a sudden they said something she's doing, and now she has a fucking green saber and she wants to murder people.
Yeah.
On behalf of the witches. But so they just moved her in and took Thrawn out.
Yeah.
It was like, we're going to use this as our proxy. Because you can't kill Admiral Thrawn.
Sure.
Admiral? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I liked about that, in that they didn't go to that point where you're going to have the Admiral Thrawn battle or whatever.
No. You saved that for...
No, he's coming back.
He doesn't... Right. He doesn't need to do anything. We just know.
Yeah.
Like Moff Gideon, they introduced him and then killed him.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, no, he's not dead. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah. No. He gets offed in the
That's
last season.
In the last, right.
But
But he was built up.
the most fascinating part to me.
Yeah.
That
that was my knee.
in the post Return Jedi timelines
Right.
that Filoni is establishing is
That time in between.
Well, yeah, from like Return of the Jedi before we get to The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Is how douchey and badly run the New Republic is.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you got to see it in that odd one-off Mando episode with like
the creepy guy with his mom.
Yeah.
That one.
And then remember the guy who was going through recovery.
Oh God, I forgot about that one too. What? God, if you go back through all of them, Mando's.
No, the creepy guy and his mom was from Andor.
That's a Filoni one too, right?
Yeah.
He's in charge of all this.
Yeah, but like Andor is before. It leads up to Rogue One, and Rogue One leads to A New Hope.
But at any rate, the New Republic.
It's all canon, but the timelines are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I try not to keep up with the timelines. That's why I was never good with history. Because time is just a construct. It's a flat circle.
We'll get our Pepe da Silva map and put it over here.
Fuck. We'll be like Charlie Day.
Start smoking for that one again.
So much. I am wanting so bad for all of these shows that are on the same timelines to just come together, intersect.
Yeah, do what the WB did with their Arrowverse.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they've already established Ahsoka and Mando. Was it Mando or Boba Fett? No, it was
Mando, yeah.
The first season.
Well, yeah, Mando and Boba Fett are in the same.
And then Ahsoka's also been put in that because
Yeah.
she's been in one. That's how she was introduced.
Yeah.
So you've got those three. Andor you can't do.
No, because that's
before. But these three
pre-prime, I guess. What you would. Yeah.
It's its own thing. Yep, they're not scoring another run. And look, they gave up 10 hits and only 2 runs. But those three.
Yeah. Well, you've already had Mando and Book of Boba Fett.
And you've had Ahsoka and Mando.
Yeah.
So, like, just put them all together and bring in Hayden Christensen as Ghost. Sorry, you knew I was not going to forget that.
No, we're just jumping right into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just pleased for Hayden Christensen that he's finally not getting
hate.
Yeah.
I never understood the hate to begin with.
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
Well, like first off, like this whole thing of like that the one actor ruined the trilogy or like
He wasn't even the first movie.
No.
It was a child
but like
and a pedophile because she was way older than Annie.
sure.
Sorry, I'm not going to go on my diatribe about how Princess.
But it was only like I think we did the math on that
We
once.
did.
It was only like 6 or 7 years.
It
Like,
just was creepy.
She was like a teenager when she was queen.
Well, but when you look back on it, it's a little creepy.
But that also explains why Naboo was conquered eventually. Like you're electing teenagers to be your monarchs. Like
But she had a look-alike.
that's she had Keira Knightley as her doppelganger.
All right, go ahead. So Hayden
That's real, by
Christensen.
the way.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
I'm not making a Grealish joke.
No, I know. Yes.
But
I've never had a problem with him.
no.
As Anakin, no. Like the third. What people need to understand about Star Wars is go watch the Empire Strikes Back. And yes, it's dark, but
Well, no. We're like to be fair, just go back or episode 4 or the first one for us, which was George Lucas is a horrible actor's director. That's why Empire is so much better because they brought in Irving Kershner,
That's what I'm saying. Go back and watch.
who is an actor's director directing the crazy ass dialogue. But like that's why it's so much better.
But if you
But you go back to the first one or episode 4. I mean, as good as Mark Hamill is in his different aspects, like even you go back and watch that now, like it's rough sometimes. Uncle Owen.
Yep.
Uncle Owen.
the Ewoks, that was pretty bad too.
Yeah,
So don't give me this.
like it's like Shakespeare,
Right.
in the or we're watching like a Kubrick film.
So the whole point with the Empire is the whole, no, Luke, I am your father. Like, really? Yes, it was a mind fuck. But if you go back and watch it now, knowing, you're like,
Oh yeah.
wow, that was fucking really bad One Tree Hill shit. Like, fuck, that was terrible. And he's like, falls, tries to commit suicide.
Right. And that's the one that has the good acting in it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the good one.
Right.
So I guess what we're saying is, Hayden, well done, and it was done just right. It wasn't overdone, done. Sounded like my brother.
And it also gives that it softens the Anakin post death.
Yeah, because you circle back as Darth Vader / Anakin.
So he's clearly been completely reformed by Luke. And now his Force Ghost is deciding, I'm going to finish my Padawan's training.
Because they burned Darth.
Yeah.
That's such a stupid word. But when he shows up as Anakin, like the ghost Anakin.
Are you talking about in the redone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because before it's just Ben, Kenobi, and Yoda.
Well, in the original version, it was the older actor.
That's what I'm saying. But at
yeah.
any rate, it was him. It was Anakin and not
Darth
Vader.
Yeah.
So that shows you that, oh, look, he did have a heart. There was still good in him.
Yeah.
And then to circle back to now, yes, his ghost is like, yeah, of course I'm good. Let's finish this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Is what he did. So you know what? I love it. You gave him his thing.
Yeah. My only qualm with Ahsoka is, I guess maybe they didn't have it in the budget for proper fight train. Or let's just say this: that's the problem when they episodes 1 through 3, and then in the last ones when they went over the top.
You mean like
with
Yoda
like the kung fu lightsaber fighting? When you see, and with Ray Stevenson, like it made sense because he's a big hulking dude, so he's gonna have the original Darth Vader.
Right.
We want to take this time to thank you for supporting the Pulpery Podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms, so please follow us and turn on the downloads. You can always delete them later. If audio is not your thing, we are on YouTube. Check out our page and hit the subscribe button, like our episodes, and share with all your friends. Follow us on all the socials for our latest content, and additional takes on the latest stories and news. If you need a change for your taste buds, go to thegdsauce.com and change the way you think about the way you eat. From their signature goddamn sauce to their ghost pepper sauce, they have everything you need to rethink condiments. Help support an independent business by getting rid of your same old condiments and boss up with the goddamn sauces.
You can see this version of us.
Yes.
You can.
Yes, you can.
See me. John Cena, I will never not, ever not talk about John Cena. Okay? You saw the new gimmick is this chair. God, I may just stand up the rest of the time. Maybe after the next break. John Cena is the man. He's back full time, but I don't know how much longer that's going to last. I think he's got storyline through the Saudi Arabian Super Show.
There you go.
In Jeddah. And then I think he's going to be gone. But at any rate, this man, couple of things. He came out and apologized to Rock, The Rock, for not disrespecting him, but not understanding the whole going to Hollywood and being apologized. He's the man. He apologized. Good for him. He showed up on NXT just because he's John Cena and he could fucking do that. Which John,
he's got to pay the bills. So.
NXT is like the minor leagues for the WWE, for those not in the know. So he showed up there. And the new gimmick of when people mention his name when he's in the room and him looking around and saying, "Wait, you can see me?" is fucking beautiful. Or when the guy was...
It's like a kid.
Like when Braun Breaker was like, "These people didn't come here to see you." And he was like, "I can't." Or they can't.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody can see John Cena. So, and now, Peacemaker is officially part of James Gunn moving forward.
Yeah.
In 2025, I think, I believe.
Is that when the next season?
Maybe it's toward the... Oh, it did. It got pushed back because I think they were looking at the second half of 2024 and then the shit hit the fan, so now it's 2025.
Yeah.
John Cena is fucking killing it. Good on you. Well done. You glorious, glorious bastard.
Yeah.
One more thing. So CM Punk is now out of a job. We knew that. And there were rumors circulating that, he was going to go to WWE and they were going to, next Chicago show, he was going to come out. Apparently WWE came out and went, "Nah, we didn't contact him." How bad do you think he feels now? Because W literally just said, no.
No. Well, I mean, that sort of makes sense. Like, if they've been cutting all the loose fat off of the organization.
Why would you want to bring in a cancer?
Yeah.
Exactly. But I just think it's funny that they had to release a statement that was basically like...
Because, like,
and
everybody...
not like an official statement,
I won't say everybody, but, like, there were so many calls for it. Like,
of course. Like, their next big Survivor Series, I think, is in Chicago. Like, of course, if they wanted to pop ratings or something, do it. They don't need to, is the thing.
But then, and then you look at, he leaves, but then, I forget what the Edge is going by now.
Just his real name, Adam Copeland. Yep. He's over there.
That fucking clip when he's trying to...
I want you to join me.
The tag
Come
team.
on, like we're brothers. Come on, let's do it again. He gives him a hug. Go fuck yourself. Oh, and then this week he cut Christian Cage. Cut a promo on Adam Copeland where he was like, Beth, talking to Adam's wife, "Go ahead and clean those sheets because Daddy's going to be home soon."
Whoa.
He is the biggest heel in professional wrestling right now, and I love you, Christian Cage. You're perfect.
Yeah.
And he's like the godfather of Adam Copeland's kids in real life. Could you imagine? Like all those kids.
That's what makes the best ones.
All those kids sitting around.
Yeah.
And hearing Uncle, God, what do they call him? Uncle something. To hear him say, "Go fuck yourself" on TV. Great storytelling.
But yeah, but I mean, like that's always what works best. I try to explain to other people sometimes, like, well, you know, a good male best friend will be the one of like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
And that's what he said.
they have to have your own personal back, not like, hey, you're super awesome. Like,
Let's do this again.
yeah.
Go fuck yourself. That's simple. And then come out and cut a promo that, you know, I'm going to be your kid's dad.
It would have been too much, but it would have been nice if it was like, go fuck yourself. You just got here.
But no, the go fuck yourself. And this was on national TV, on TBS. Go fuck yourself.
They weren't able to bleep it?
I don't know, because I didn't watch it live. I
Yeah.
saw the uncensored version,
There you
which
go,
is the
okay.
better version.
Yeah.
Okay, Loki. We haven't started. I guess episode 2 is out today. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
All right, so we're a day late. Trip, so to Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. Tell you about that state when we get over. First of all, real quick, I'm just gonna say this. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. Air travel is the fucking worst. We need a train system in this country.
Why do you think I'm taking over Thanksgiving, I'm only taking like 2 flights.
Don't.
Bouncing, well, no, I don't have an option, but instead of 3 flights, one of those is I'm getting on a train for 2 days.
I told the wife, and I know I'm getting off track here. Told the wife, I would rather take 2 extra days off and fucking drive.
Yeah. I'd say, I mean, like, this would fit into the nerd section if we're talking about trains. So.
Okay, sorry about that. But moving on. Air travel fucking sucks. Don't do it, kids. Loki. So, first season. And I forgot how bonkers that first episode was in the first season.
Yeah.
We'll try to work our way up to...
But then that's what I forgot about, because we watched the first season weekly.
Right.
And not like as a one large
Correct.
clump.
Now it's just like, I'm going to blow through it real quick and we'll watch...
Yeah, and after like the introduction where it's like, here's where we left off in Endgame, and then now like, okay, here's this character, that character. By episode 2, it really settles down.
Yeah.
But it's not, there wasn't any lagging parts. Like,
and it happened after he was in front of the judge.
yeah.
God, what's her name? And they were like, you're going to get vaporized. And Morbius?
Yeah.
It's not the same as the
no,
Morpheus. No,
Mobius.
It's not, Owen Wilson. Because we're either going to call him Morpheus from that show, The Matrix.
Yeah.
Or Morbius, which is a fucking vampire played by Jared Leto. Who cares?
If we got time, we'll get to that too.
So
I think it's Mobius. I think
it is fucking bonkers though. Like, he wakes up in the sand.
Mobius.
And then it's like he goes through like processing at a fucking
I forgot how wonderful that is.
penitentiary
Yeah.
at this point.
No, it's like the DMV.
Oh, that's even better. It is. Take a number. No, this guy gets zapped. Okay, I'm going to take a number. But then when Owen Wilson comes in, then at that point...
In his Shasta colas.
I forgot about Mrs. Time.
Yeah.
Or whoever she was. She's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And she pops up all over the place.
Yeah.
One of the best lines in one, and then we'll move on, is when Loki looks at him, he was like, 3 space beings control the entire timeline, and you work for it. Yeah. You ever seen these? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that the whole first season's the build up to the last 2 episodes.
Exactly. It shows that you bounce around and you're stopping these different timelines, right? That's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to find the person who's creating these. I don't even remember the word.
Well, it's even too. It's I don't know if I call it like a buddy cop kind of thing. It's more like, I don't know. I always keep coming back to it, but like Mobius.
We're gonna fuck that up.
I know.
Forever.
Mobius and Loki. Maybe it is like the template because it was such a good movie, Midnight Run.
God damn it! You took the words right out of my mouth. Yes, it is. It's
Like,
Midnight Run.
Yeah, like two fish out of water.
If you haven't seen it, find it now.
It's on either HBO Max or Netflix right now.
That's exactly what this is Midnight Run.
But through time, not across the country, but
Nope.
through time.
And they go to, like I said, they pop in and out. He's fucking it. But all that, right? That's just scene building, world building,
To get to Jonathan
character
Majors.
building for Mobius to get to he who shall not be named. What do they call him? In
He Who Remains.
That's, I know. I went Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know.
Because we went there earlier.
But I forgot, like, I didn't get it the
And then
first time.
female Loki shows up.
Yeah. And they fall in love.
Correct. But then you see there's Easter eggs of all these other Lokis throughout this.
Oh, and I forgot, like, the Richard Grant Loki.
Yep. There's a lot. There was a frog.
Yeah. Well, no. Frog Thor was trapped.
Oh, that was the other one. Thor.
There's the alligator Loki.
That's the one I was thinking of.
But that scene when they're all sitting around, I think it's before evil politician Loki shows up, and but like the focal point is Richard Grant's little short soliloquy about, because he's asking, like, what, like, where was it, like, what was your deviancy, or like,
What?
like, why are you a variant?
Correct.
And Richard Grant's was like, everywhere I went, fucking bad shit happened, so I just went off forever. And then it's just this real quick line. He's like, but, I wanted to get back home, and I missed my brother. And then before, like, as soon as he set foot on Asgard,
They killed him.
yeah. And
I miss my brother.
yeah, it was like, oh man, like that. But and then you see, and that's how good Hiddleston is, in that he doesn't say anything in response, but his facial reaction to it.
Yes.
And
Which is a lot of.
and you forget
this
that,
whole series is a lot of him reacting to everything going on around it.
and you forget because from Endgame he's the evil Loki,
Right.
from the first Avengers. He hadn't gone through all that
That's what I was telling.
character learning.
That's what I was telling the wife. Like, this is that Loki finding
Right.
the
So
Tesseract. So, Endgame Loki, dead Loki.
right.
Good. I'm gonna cut off my hand, Loki.
Yeah.
All that shit that happened hasn't happened to this variant.
Right. So
Because this variant said, "Fuck it, I'm taking the Tesseract."
yeah. And
So-
I want to regain my power, but
Right.
I didn't get his performance fully the first time, but the second time watching it, like, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. I haven't gotten that far yet. The second second watch through.
Yeah, is, man.
Yep. And go ahead.
I will say this, like, and I don't think this isn't going to ruin anything, but you would think if they are even thinking about recasting that, depending on whatever the court decision is, I can't remember if that's been.
I thought the last one, it was she backed off.
Yeah, or again,
But there was
I don't
still,
know.
at any rate,
Yeah.
there is still clouds hanging over.
But first episode of the second season, it's still Kang as we know him and statues.
Yes.
So
And they started promoting him toward
Yeah.
the end there, so it's like, we're not Amber Hearding him from Aquaman or anything here yet.
yeah.
But speaking of, if anybody didn't know, that Aquaman's dad is the Mandalorian. I mean, not the Mandalorian, is Boba Fett.
Yeah, and he's also.
Say it.
Well, I was gonna say where he was the voices and for all the stormtroopers.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, they were his clones.
Yeah, exactly.
We just went on a dive.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulper is a privately produced podcast by Brock Ryder and Ben Grimmie. On social media and photography by Beck Ryder. Original music by the Heisenberg Compensators.